Hello, I want to record a quick video to show you my expectations for the supplemental learning packet. Hopefully you were able to pick it up today, Wednesday the 18th. If you weren't, it's still available online, but I want to show you a couple of options in case you weren't able to pick it up today as well. Okay, so this is what it looks like if you pick it up or if you download it online at voyageacademyutah.org. Well, not the most important, I'd probably say page, but one of the most important pages is the little calendar, okay? So instead of having the day's dates, we just have day one, okay? So day one, again, is Wednesday, March 18th. So this is kind of going to give you a schedule of what each day should look like. So we start with multiplication fluency, math, reading, English language arts, and then we end with writing, okay? You can do it whatever order you want, but this I felt like was a good order, kind of mimicked what we do in class. So with math fluency, I have printed in the packet the 2-minute timings, okay? So you set a time for 2 minutes, and by this time of year, we're trying to reach 75 in 2 minutes, okay? But as long as you're making progress each day, getting better and better each day, that is what I expect. Instead of doing the 2-minute timings, you can log on to extramath.org and do a session of extra math, either one. Though if you do it this way, you'll have to take a picture and send in your progress every 2 to 3 days, or every day if you want to. If you do it on extramath.org, the progress will just automatically be emailed to me, and I can look at it each day. The next is math. So the math worksheet that I put in here looks like this, okay? It has a front side, and then it has a back side, okay? For some of you, that's going to be a lot of math. For some of you, maybe not so much, okay? It is longer than our traditional math worksheets. So on our calendar, I put for math that it's 50 minutes or until complete. So if you finish the worksheet in less than 50 minutes, then you're in good shape. If you don't, as long as you are working on it for a sustained 50 minutes, then that's completely fine. That doesn't mean you set a timer for 50 minutes and for 20 of those minutes you pet your dog, okay? If you have an interruption, you stop the timer and then you come back to the math worksheet. Again, instead of doing the math worksheet, I have made a Khan Academy count for every single student. And I have put 30 assignments, or 30 tasks is what they call them, due April 3rd. So you can do that for 15 minutes instead of the math worksheet, okay? If you don't want to print it out or if it's unavailable, anything like that, okay? Either one. The next part is reading independently for 20 minutes, okay? So there's a couple ways you can do this, okay? Number one way you can't do is if you read to your siblings Dr. Seuss, that is not at your ability, okay? It has to be on your level. So if you just get Diary of a Wimpy Kid and read that for 20 minutes, I think you can do a little bit better than that, okay? So if for some reason the libraries are closed and you don't have access at your house to a reading book that's on your level, please let me know, okay? I will ship a book to you, and then once you're done with the book, we can sanitize it and put it in our classroom library. Just make sure that you have a reading book with you. Now, if you want to read a book that's at your level to a sibling, that's completely fine as well, okay? The next part is English language arts, okay? And that is just a simple little worksheet. For day one, it's really simple. It's just reading the front and the back about STEM Rising, which we already know how to do, okay? I made this packet so most of our 5th graders or you guys could work independently. You won't need a whole lot of help from parents and stuff like that. The math, we've already learned how to do all of it. Of course, if you have questions, you can look on YouTube, you can ask parents, you can ask older siblings, or if you're still confused, don't know how to do it, save that question for me when we have our video conference or just a phone call twice a week, okay? So summarizing, you just read the front and back, and then at the end, it has your turn, and it says, read this passage, look for the most important points to summarize, then write your summary on this passage, okay? And with that length of passage, I only expect to have one main point, okay? So it would say something, my summary would say something like, in the text, there's a museum for that. The main idea is blank, okay? It doesn't have an author, so I can't include the author's name, but of course, if it has author, I'm gonna include that. With your main idea, you're gonna have 2 details, at least 2 to 3, okay? And then one of those details should be a quote, okay? And then, of course, a wrap-up sentence at the end that's very similar to the first sentence, just saying it in a different way, okay? So that's English Language Arts. And then the other worksheets, like day 2 is slightly different. Let me see if I can find that one. Day 2 is about the Great Wall of China. So you'll read that passage. Again, not super long passages, okay? Pretty short. You'll answer questions, checking for understanding, vocabulary, word work. And then the end has a right now passage, okay? For the right now, I know where your guys' abilities are, so if you write a sentence and call it good, I'm not going to count it, okay? I would hate for you to work over spring break to catch up on all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing now, okay? And then the last one is the writing and social studies, okay? So you are going to be writing a 5-paragraph essay, one each week. For that essay, I'm going to be making a separate video on how to write these essays because I know can sometimes be a lot. But basically, day by day, it kind of gives you a little outline, okay? So the first day, you're just going to read the articles on the Revolutionary War, and the prompt this week is to write a 5-paragraph essay on the major battles of the Revolutionary War, and I have text and everything for you. So you'll read the articles first. The next day, you're going to read the articles again and highlight your main ideas and details. And you can, instead of highlighting, you could just use a pencil too, okay, either one. And then day 3, plan and create a graphic organizer. And that video will detail how to do that. And then day 4, write a 5-paragraph essay. Day 5, edit and revise your essay, going over the checklist, okay? And the checklist for the essays looks like this, okay? And again, my next video will go over how to use that checklist, okay? Because it's pretty helpful. So just to review what your supplemental learning will look like. Using this calendar, if it were me, I would have a pencil or something handy and I'd mark off as I go, okay? So day 1, math fluency can either be done with the 2-minute timings or extra math, either one. Math, you can do the math worksheet for 50 minutes or Khan Academy for 50 minutes, okay? The next one is reading, 20 minutes of independent reading. Again, if you're reading a book that is at your level to a sibling, that's fine too, as long as it's not interrupted, okay? At home, it's going to be a little bit easier to be interrupted. Find a space that you know that you're not going to be interrupted by. And if you do get interrupted, if mom and dad have to come in and have you do something, pause what you're doing, then come back to it, okay? And the next one, English Language Arts, is just that worksheet, making sure that at that end, the right now is at least a paragraph, but it may be longer, okay? I'm not going to accept, and make sure it's nice handwriting, okay? Some of these, like that one, will have to be sent in to me, okay? If you do these online, you don't have to send them to me. These ones, these 2, you have to send them to me, okay? Either way. And of course, if you complete these in the back, send them to me over 2 to 3 days. And then the last one is writing. And again, I will have a separate video on how to do the writing, okay? But some of you should be able to start writing right away, okay? If you have any questions, again, try to use your resources, but if you have questions, write them down, because I know for me, I'll promise myself like, oh, I'll remember that question. Like when they ask me, I'll remember to do this thing. If I don't write things down, there is a huge chance I'm going to forget it. Okay, so write down your questions. So when we have our conferences every 2 weeks, or twice a week, once a week, that you can have your questions answered. Okay, this is a new time. Okay, we've never had to do this before. I've never had to do it before in my entire life. So please make sure that you're really showing responsibility for your own learning. At this point, it's up to you to get this done. Okay, again, all of this should be able to be done independently. You may have questions with like math and stuff like that, and that's completely fine. Get the help you need, but don't use that as a crutch for not doing the work, okay? These next 2 weeks, technically you are in school, okay? That last week of March, first week of April, that spring break, you can take the time to relax and enjoy yourself, okay? Of course, keeping your social distance. Video conferences will start on Thursday. If you have not signed up for a time, please sign up for a time so we can get that done. If you have any questions, feel free to text me on Remind. I can call off of my phone. It'll show up as Voyage Academy's phone, but you can, of course, call me. My extension, if you call Voyage Academy, my extension is 1121, okay? If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm really sad that I can't meet with you. It would be the most ideal situation is we'd be in class right now learning together and sharing and collaborating, everything like that, but we have to stay safe. So I love you all. Make sure to stay safe. Stay inside. Well, you can go out in your yard, but social distance yourself so we can get this situation taken care of as soon as possible. And good luck. I'm excited to see what you guys do because I know you guys can do it, okay? This is a lot of independent work. This is going to take a lot of responsibility and a lot of effort, but you guys have demonstrated to me that you have that effort and you are responsible enough to do this, okay? I will be checking up on you, though. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you and talk to you guys starting tomorrow.